A lot of people, when they saw the interview and in the comment section, they were questioning like, well, I wonder if she's like maybe a missing person or something like that. What are some of the theories you've heard?
She stole me. Like you said, I was a missing person. That she has some criminal past or something that she's running away from. Every time I mentioned anything about me having a father or anything like that, she said it was like something where it happened. The only time that she had intercourse was months before, or not months, years before I was even born. So
I'm talking about having a relationship built off trust.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, if she's telling you, like, okay, you tell a kid that, fine, whatever. Kids believe in Santa Claus, all type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you're 18 now. You're an adult, and you have a child that you have inside of you that's on the way out, okay? You don't think you deserve to know the truth? What's up, YouTube? I want to once again thank everybody who comes up to me in the street and shows me real love. Y'all don't even know. It keeps me thankful. It keeps my tank full. Now, back to the content. What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street... Okay, I'm tripping. Atlanta Street Interviews out here with another one. So, guys, right with an update. So this is a quick update, right? Normally I don't do them back to back like this, but a lot of people is interested in your story, right? So I'm gonna talk about this dog situation in a second because that's kind of funny, but I want to talk to you about your story, right? So if you don't mind, I'm gonna dive right in, okay? So a lot of the people, when they heard the story, they were thinking like, man, you know, this young lady, she's 18 and she doesn't have any of her paperwork. She can't do anything without that. And so they were trying to figure out like, well, why would her mom do that? Now that you're 18, do you want to live a similar life to what she lived, or do you want to live more of a, what they would say, I guess, normal or on the grid life?
I would love to live an on the grid life, but right now, due to the way that she raised me, I'm not really able to, because I don't really have a social security, birth certificate, or none of that, because I was born at a house and then took from a house to a van and traveled the world. So I never have been to a hospital or a school, so I don't have no legal records. But I actually grew up pretty well. The only problems that I'm having right now is just trying to start my life for my own.
Is that not, like, for instance, when the last time you talked to your mom?
Maybe like a couple weeks ago, like 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago? Yeah.
Is it not to the point where you could ask her like, hey mom, what do I need to do to get my social and my stuff?
I've tried to do that. She says the only way that she can even really fathom to get in contact with anybody that would know is doing my doula. Because she was my doula. Okay, your doula. She was there when I was born, but I don't know her. I only know that she's out of Chicago and she's like 50 something and she's an elderly white lady. Other than that, I don't really know that much about her, and she doesn't seem to want to tell me that much about her because she wants me and my boyfriend to travel with her and still go back to.
Do you feel like she kind of wants to control you a little bit? Right? Now, I'm going to ask a couple tough questions, okay? All right, so I don't know if you've ever thought about this or if you've ever considered this, right? But a lot of people, when they saw the interview and in the comment section, they were questioning like, well, I wonder if she's like maybe a missing person or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that to me. I've tried to look into it too. I'm not even gonna cap. But no, my mom's my biological mom. Okay,
do y'all like look alike and everything?
We look exactly alike.
Okay,
that's the sad part.
Okay, so y'all look just alike.
Yep.
Okay, so
me and my grandma.
Okay. So right, because the grandma's there too.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not any type of missing person or
no.
Like, have you ever done like a 23andMe?
No, I haven't.
So
but, missing person wise, no. I really don't know why she chose that way, but I've heard a lot of theories. Of a lot of different
What are
things.
some of the theories you've heard?
She stole me. Like you said, I was a missing person. That she has some criminal past or something that she's running away from. Other stuff like that, and I've tried to look into all of those things, and nothing has come up. She seems perfectly fine. I just guess that's how she wanted to live her life.
Well, and I get that, right? But the whole like not getting you your paperwork part,
yeah,
that just smacks me as like something that a mom wouldn't do.
Yeah.
You know?
She told me when I finally like really dug towards it, she said she did have something that the doula wrote kind of like a birth certificate, and then with the moving and stuff like that, that she just forgot it or left it. But even as my baby daddy says, you don't just forget or lose something like that that's supposed to be so important. So I really just think that she really just wanted to keep me off of the grid because she really just didn't believe in certain things. I don't know why she didn't, but
well,
I just know that she's very strong on, like, I didn't have social media, I didn't have certain things like that, and I know that she's very, very strong on, like, not so much of me not having social media, but me being careful about society, period.
And I get that, right?
That's why I wasn't allowed to watch Disney Channel.
To watch Disney Channel?
Yeah. It was like PBS, documentaries, like all healthy stuff. It wasn't like Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, nothing that was like too bad. Like I could watch Scooby-Doo and stuff like that, but
Ruby, Ruby, Ruby. Okay. And I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those darn kids. I love Scooby-Doo. All right, sorry about that. All right, so, okay. Because, like, is it just that she's just, like, wants to just have control over you, like, complete control? Because that would be a way to have complete control is to not, you know, give you or not make it so that you have any of that stuff that you need to live your life.
Yeah. I'm not really sure. She, with some of her actions, it might seem controlling, like, you know, making sure that I was always in like a activity or a sport instead of just out playing and other things like that. Just constructive.
So she did make sure that you played sports and things like that?
Yeah, she made sure I played sports and stuff. It just wasn't.
How did she
like,
sign you up for that stuff?
Exactly. It wasn't like certain things I couldn't get signed up for. Certain things, I don't know. I know like one of the places was like an African homeschooling something. And then another one was, it was a lot of Mexican kids there, so I ain't even gonna be trying to funny, but I don't think they really pressed on just anything
paperwork and
but
stuff
a
like that.
name, exactly, and other stuff like that, and you pick up your kid at this time. But other than like me just doing like free little basketball things or free soccer camps that I didn't really stay around into, but she always made sure like I can play violin. She always made sure that I was in some type of
activity or something like that.
And like in a lot of ways, people be like, "Oh, at least you had socialism." But at the same while, when I felt at that time, I was like, "Oh, I don't get to go play outside." I felt like I was having school just like every other kid,
right?
And I wanted to be outside playing and other things like that, which was okay, you know. But other than that, no, she wasn't really controlling at all.
Okay.
She pretty much let me do what I would like to do within
within the bounds that she set.
Yeah, well, no, not even within the bounds that she said. She would be like, you can do whatever you want to do as long as you let me know and make sure I'm going to let you know what everything that happens, like even with drugs. I'm going to let you know everything that happens with drugs to where I didn't even want to feel like doing drugs. She was like, oh, I'm going to let you know everything that happens, and if you feel like doing some drugs, and that comes to that, at least do them at home. Don't do them out in the streets.
Right.
Don't feel ashamed, other things like that. And then when I got to that, when I got old enough to even be
considering doing that stuff,
experimental stage,
right.
I wasn't really interested. I was just like, well, I've had so much free range, whereas other people are like, oh, don't do drugs, don't do drugs.
Right.
And I don't know if that's why or if other things like that, but I know even with my first taste of alcohol, I think I was at a young age and I tasted some alcohol and she didn't beat me for it or nothing. She was just like, well, now you know what it tastes like. Do you think that you would want to do this, or do you think that you, and I would be like, no, it tastes disgusting and this. Although I was a child, now that I've grown up, I don't drink, nothing like that. So I don't know.
Well, I guess it worked in that regard, right? That's a good thing. Even though I will say you're still 18, right? So you still have, you know, some time to grow and develop, but okay, because I mean you got this baby coming.
Exactly.
So that kind of speeds up the timeline.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'll be over there. All right. Okay. Because I mean when you were saying about like the hospital thing or the doula and all like that, and I'm like, so is she gonna try to do the same thing to your baby?
I'm not really sure. I'm trying to have my baby in a hospital. That's why I'm trying to figure out to even find a way to get my birth certificate and stuff.
So let's talk about that, right? So have you gone to any of these places like Crossroads or Gateway or any of those places?
None of them can accept me because I don't have a social security number, so they don't really know where to start with anything. Because I don't have no record, so it's not like they can pull up a
that's so
hospital record
unfair
or anything like that.
So right now you don't have a clue what to do.
Not really.
Audience, if you're watching this and you know what process she needs to take, please reach out to me at landerstreetinterviews@gmail.com. Because like one thing that people were saying was you could do a 23andMe and possibly find out who your dad is.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously, you know, like I say, like when you said it, it was in real time, so I didn't really want to react a certain way. But you know, that whole thing about not having sex for several years before you're born.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, I know. I never met my dad, and she didn't really talk about him too much. She just kind of said that he was just, she didn't really have a reason to say that where he was or what he was. She just kind of said that she made me herself and been praying for me since she was a baby, and when it was time for her to have the baby, she just got pregnant. Every time I mentioned anything about me having a father or anything like that, she said it was like something where it happened. The only time that she had intercourse was months before, or not months, years before I was even born. So I don't know where that came from, and I don't know.
Because you're grown now. Why can't she just tell you the truth?
Exactly, but she tells me that that is the truth. That she honestly don't really know who my father is, and the only person that she did it with wasn't even lined up with how I would have.
So if she and does your grandma stick to that story as well? Like, what does your grandma say about this?
Yeah, my grandma sticks to that story too. My grandma, although she's a little bit more, I would say modern. Like, she still wanted me to go to school and other stuff like that. She's the one who converted my mom into veganism and other stuff like that. I guess my mom just took it a bit farther than she did.
Yeah.
But she was she had her own futon shop. She's a retired teacher. So, like I said, I still got schooling and stuff. It was just at home.
Well, right, but specifically though, I'm talking about having a relationship built off trust.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, if she's telling you, like, okay, you tell a kid that, fine, whatever. Kids believe in Santa Claus, all type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you're 18 now. You're an adult, and you have a child that you have inside of you that's on the way out. Okay? You don't think you deserve to know the truth?
Yeah, I do. After a while, like I said, I didn't really press it because I didn't really feel
that she was going to give it to you.
I didn't feel like she was going to give it to me, and I didn't feel like no loss, and I didn't really feel like it would help me other than finding another side of people. And the person that I do know that she did have sex with before I was born isn't such a nice person. So I don't think I would want to reach out with them because I'm pretty sure they got several kids out here. And, that the stories that she told me about that person didn't seem like a person that I would want to reach out.
I get it, but you do know that at this point, you kind of got to question some of these stories that she's telling because she's obviously not telling the full truth, right? Because, I mean, she could be telling you that just so that you have the exact reaction that you're having right now. Like, oh, well, I don't want to deal with that type of guy or whatever. But he could be a perfectly fine guy. Like, she may have just ran away or whatever. And because, biologically, we know that it's 9 months in the belly, 10 months, whatever. And so, like, she obviously had sex about 10 or so months before she had you. And if she wasn't having that much sex, then she should surely know who she had sex with.
Yeah, no, she says she knows who she has sex with. It's not a problem about that. She's just saying that it doesn't line up to when I was born.
Well,
and
but that's the
she did give
problem.
me all the information that she said that she knew about that person. And I did try to research that person, and even she tried to research that person. But that person really didn't really be found, and like I said, was not really the greatest person and other things like that.
But that person, if they had sex years before you were born, that's probably not the person. Right?
Well, I'm just saying, like you said, like even like how you said, she might not be telling the truth about that.
Right.
So even if she wasn't telling the truth about that, I still covered both bases and still made sure to check any of the people that she messed with.
I will pay for a 23andMe for you.
Okay. That's cool. I don't
Okay,
mind.
so, because did I give y'all my information yesterday? Okay, so I'll make sure you get that today, okay? I'll pay for a 23andMe for you. Okay, because who knows, right? You might as well just throw it up against the wall, see if it sticks, right? Okay. Are you interested in like that?
I don't mind.
Well, I didn't ask, do you not mind? I asked, are you interested in like maybe getting to the truth about this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, like I said, I have to before my baby comes, so it's inevitable.
Your baby is gonna have a grandfather that it may want to know who the grandfather is. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it has a grandfather on the mother's side that I'm still very much still in contact with. But yeah, I do get what you're saying, and on his side. But yeah.
You say a grandfather on the mother's side?
Yeah, on my side.
No, that's your grandfather.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about your baby's grandfather.
Yeah.
That'll be your dad.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, your baby, just like how you know your grandfather, your baby may want to know his grandfather, right? So, I'm just putting these things out there because yesterday we was in real time. I didn't have time to really think it through, but after I, watched the video and I saw the comments, I was like, you know what, they're making really good points. And if we could help somebody, right, to find their other biological half of themselves, that'd be a good thing, right? You never know why I run into people or what the ultimate result of it is going to be. So, okay, that's all that was, right? Okay. I just wanted to kind of see how you felt about that and gauge whether or not you wanted to continue to, kind of try to figure the situation out. Okay, so no shade to your mom or anything like that, all right? Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think a lot of people just saw you and they're like, man, this is such a pleasant young lady. So kudos to your mom for that. She obviously raised a smart, pleasant young lady. Okay, so, all right. Anyway, well, that's all that I wanted. I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't gonna keep you. I know y'all got a situation going on there with the dog. We'll save that story for next time. Okay. And so same information if anybody wanted to reach out, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, we appreciate you and definitely wish you nothing but the best, okay? Make sure you have a good one, sweetie.
You too.
All right.